My guest this afternoon on Dan's Talks is Ronnette Riley, who is the chairman of the board of the Artist Writers Game, uh, which is played every summer out here in East Hampton. Ronnette, tell us a little bit about the game for those who are not familiar with it.
So the premise of the game is artists against writers. We play a charity game on the third August Saturday every year, and with the rain date the following weekend, but hopefully we don't have a rain date. And the game is basically to have fun in the community, create this event that's for families, but also to raise money for 4 local charities. So we raise money for the Eleanor Whitmore Daycare Center and the Phoenix House in Wainscott, also the Retreat and the East End Hospice.
So this is a softball game on a sandlot field behind the Stop and Shop between the artists and the writers. And it's been 74 years since it was founded. Who are some of the players in the game who've participated over all that time?
Well, I've participated for over 30 years, and during my time, I mean, back in the beginning, it was some quite famous luminaries, Jackson Pollock and various artists of quite interesting fame, Jimmy Ernst. And when I got involved, the sort of names that showed up for the game included people like Jerry Cooney, the fighter, or Pele, the soccer player, in addition to well-known and established artists and writers, Peter Jennings and Dan Christensen, who's an abstract painter. And we've had movie stars and social media stars. We've had Alec Baldwin's been a longtime supporter. Roy Scheider was our pitcher for the artists for years. And it's been open to all. Show up at the game, and if you can play, your chances are pretty good. If you can't play, maybe not so good. But we've had quite an interesting group of players. I loved it when Dr. Ruth came and batted. So that was quite fun.
President Clinton came.
Oh, he was our umpire last year and the year before.
Yes.
And in fact, he played 30-something years ago when he was governor of Arkansas, and that was the first game I played in. Who knew he'd go on to be president?
What got you interested in the game? You were a New York City architect of some note.
Well,
how did you come?
I grew up in California and was a big baseball fan. My brother could have played, he was drafted for the minor leagues. And so I spent a lot of my early life playing baseball or playing softball. And I come from a town that had Tug McGraw was from my town, and Cece Sabathia is from my town, my hometown. So when I arrived in the Hamptons, I heard there was a pickup game on Saturdays. And so I started showing up there. And
different game from the Artist Writers Game.
Yeah, it's a regular game played every Saturday morning and Sunday now. And Leaf Hope, who's been one of the guiding spirits of the game for decades, he was there, and I came out to originally to help him organize the game and organize the writer or the artists. And Kinaletta has for years organized the writers. And as Leaf would say, there's a lot more writers out there. So we've gotten a little broad with our definition of an artist. So it could be an actor, a painter. We even had 4 players from the Ray Bestos Breakettes show up one year, the professional women's softball team, to play for the artists.
Well, there are more writers out here because all they need is a computer. In the old days, it was a typewriter in a small room. If you were an artist, however, you had to have a studio, a place to work, a lot of supplies, and connections with the city. And did you come out here for the game, and what did you think of the Hamptons when you first came?
Well, as someone from Northern California, when I first came to New York, it was just going to be for a summer. And a friend took me out to Southampton and I saw those beaches. Now I'm Irish, so I'm not a big beach person, but I couldn't believe how beautiful they were. And in Northern California, to get to the beach, you go over a small mountain range. So you never know what the weather is going to be like when you get there. And in the Hamptons, you wake up and whatever weather is at your house is pretty much what the weather is going to be at the beach. So I ended up staying in New York partly because I just love the Hamptons. And I've had a house out there for years and go out there all the time. And softball just makes it even more special.
And but you established yourself in the city as one of the architects of that community. That's quite I guess I would say it isn't fun a lot of the times because you're dealing with builders and what kind of architecture do you do?
I came out of the office of Philip Johnson and actually was the project architect for the Lipstick Building. And then I opened up my own practice and I do a little bit of everything. I have 18 different firehouses that we're renovating right now and one new firehouse in Queens. We just were awarded the East Hampton Community Senior Center and Community Center in East Hampton, which will be a new building. Very excited about that. I do a lot of residential work. And we're even working on the Nassau County Correctional Facility. So we have a broad spectrum of projects that we work on.
So now there's upcoming is an event on March 5th, which is the middle of winter. And tell us a little bit about that. It's something. It's called batting practice, is it?
No, it's called Spring Training 2022. So in 2015, Catherine Markell in Bridgehampton, who has a gallery there on the main street, donated her gallery to us for the month of March. And she's done it again this year. So what is it, 5, 6, 7 years later, we're having Spring Training 2022. And we've asked all of the artist players and various artists in the community who've been generous to us in the past and donated their work to participate. So far I have 22 paintings sitting in my living room getting ready to be hung for this show, which we will sell. And we're going to split it 40% to the artists, 60% to our charities. And I've pretty much gotten all of the opening night, which will be March 5th between 5 and 7. We have the wine donated and we'll have some a little food and things like that. And it'll be open for the 4 weekends in March from Saturday and Sunday from 11 to 5. And the opening will be the first night, March 5th. And we're also have several writers who are going to come into the gallery and talk about their work, their new book. So Zach O'Malley Greenberg is going to talk about his latest book. We have Gabrielle Bluestone's going to talk about her new book. We have David Adelman, writes a lot of politically related books. He's going to do a session with us. So this year, we're going to incorporate the writers and the artists.
Are you going to, there was once an event at Guildhall, I guess about 4 years ago, where a lot of paraphernalia from the game, articles written about it, baseball mitts.
That was also in 2015, and it was quite a special event. It was called They Played in the Game. And so Guildhall brought out the work of some of the artists who passed away, and then current artists had their work on display. The writers had their work there. It was quite a successful show.
So will there be anything just to see from the players themselves? Are they bringing photographs or anything?
We're going to be selling T-shirts from last year and the year before, but the gallery is quite small, and the number of artists who want to participate has been very, very large. We expect to have at least 30 different works of art there. So at all price levels, you can buy something very nice for at all price levels. So
Anything by Pollock?
no, he didn't respond to his emails, so we don't have him this year. But we're it's about, this is a community-based organization. The money we raise, we give back in the community, and we just thought it would be a nice event since more and more people are coming to the Hamptons in the winter to have a prelude to the game.
Do you remember any particular play in any particular game during the time you've been connected with it that stands out? There's one I'm thinking about, I recall, which involved Reeve and Christopher Reeve sliding into home. Do you remember all this?
Oh, I remember Christopher Reeve very well, that game. There's so many fun plays. And then there's a couple that were a little scary. Paul Simon almost got impaled on the home run fence one year. And we've had a team doctor there just in case something happens. At one point we had a stalker that was a little bit annoying on the field. So you never know what's going on, but local celebrities they might not play, but they've been big supporters. Bob Balaban has come to the game, Al Franken, and not played, but walked the crowd and been available to the fans. And we've had Yogi Berra threw out the first ball one year, which was very exciting. And then his son, who had been a professional baseball player, played in the game. We've had several sports stars play. We don't get very many baseball players because the game's in August and the baseball players have been busy actually doing their job. But Keith Hernandez hasn't shown up, but he's donated items and experiences for us for our other fundraising events. So it's a joyful experience to be able to not just go out there and eat and party, but to be able to do something that gives back to the community.
So this is going to be Saturday afternoon is the opening at the gallery.
At 5 p.m.
And the name of the gallery, where is it in Bridgehampton?
It's the Catherine Markel Gallery, and it's...
What's it's next to? Where is it?
It's right after the hardware store, and
well, it's right there near Golden Pear and
near the Golden Pear. It's a small gallery, but in 2015 we had 58 pieces of art there, and we sold 38 of them. So we're really hoping that we have a good turnout and that people will be generous. It's a chance to own, a piece of local history and art, or be a part of or contribute to the community once again.
Well, I'm talking to Ronnette Riley, who's the chair of the board of directors of the Artist Writers Game, which is a year-round job, full-time. She had to give up her architectural.
I think my staff would like me to, but Catherine Markel, Markel, and it's in Bridgehampton, New York.
We'll be there. Thank you for being on the podcast. It's good to talk to you again.
And also, if there's an artist that isn't on our list or isn't a part and wants to be a part of this wonderful organization, we're still accepting art, and we'll do so up until the day before.
Who would somebody contact?
They would contact organizer at anwgame.com, or they can contact me, Ronnette Riley, at rr@ronnetteriley.com. So there's lots of ways that you can go on our website, which is East Hampton Artists and Writers Charity Softball Game, but it's organizer at artistswriters.org would be a good email.
Well, thank you very much for coming on the podcast, and I will see you on the 5th of March.
Great. Thank you, Dan. And thank you for all you do for the local Hamptonites.
Bye.
Thank you again.